Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, right now the St. Lawrence River is not receiving the boat traffic that it has the rest of the year. And for those of you that are used to seeing 80-mile-an-hour bass boats going up and down the river, you're not going to see that now because most of the tournaments are over for the year. And it's the bass fishermen that fish tournaments that have these bass boats. But the benefit to you right now is you're going to have this river pretty much to yourself. And the really good fishing right now, of course, the bass fishing is always good, depending on whether you know how to catch them in the deep current areas. But right now, most of these fish can be found in much shallower water than during the middle of the summer. And that's really important because a lot of people still fish perch this time of the year. That becomes one of the most sought after fish in the St. Lawrence in the fall, and walleye as well. Walleye is just a cousin of the perch. They're all in the same family, and they have a lot of the same habits. But there's a tremendous number of walleyes out there right now. Some of the finest walleye fishermen in the St. Lawrence have reported to me through the last month that the walleye fishing has been fantastic. And I want you to remember one thing, that walleyes do have a migratory route that they follow each year. In other words, they're not going to be in the same place in the fall that they were in the spring, and vice versa. There's a section along the St. Lawrence between Waddington and Meissner where there's a causeway, and I've always gone there in the fall to fish for walleyes. I discovered it a few years ago, and these big walleyes would all school together in a certain section right off the road there. But the key here isn't me telling you a secret place to go. They've done a lot of construction work at this place, at this causeway. There's a lot of tubes going out in the water now, and it may not be the best place to go and fish from shore, which I've always done, but you can't get a boat in that water. It's like a bay that comes in. On one side of the road is Full Bears Lake, and on the other side is the spot I'm telling you about, the walleyes. But the key to this is that they follow the same pattern and the same route, and that section where they school in the fall and winter, they come there every single year, and then they seem to be gone in the spring. But this is something you have to know about walleye fishing. I think we have some of the best walleye fishing anywhere. You know, we rave about being the best smallmouth bass fishing in the country. Well, we've got awful good walleye fishing here too. And we've got bigger walleyes than exist in most other areas because of the gobies. That's what we think anyway. So this is the time of the year that you really have a chance to go out there. You've got the water to yourself. And you don't have to find the fish in 50 or 60 feet of water. Because believe me, in the summertime, a lot of these schools of perch have gone that deep, and it makes it tougher for people that, you know, don't have all the different tackle and grafts and so forth to fish the St. Lawrence. This makes it an ideal time for you to go out, and the smallmouth bass will be a bit shallower now too, so that gives you access if you don't have all the equipment on your boat to be able to control your boat drift in the deeper water. This gives you a lot of opportunities right now, because there won't be as many bass boats out there, because most of the bass boats you see are tournament fishermen that are practicing or fishing tournaments. They're either practicing, and that's why you see them every day of the summer. But they're not going to be out in the water as much now, so you have this water to yourself. And it's a great time of the year to fish. We used to have our big bass blowout in Meissner in October. And one of the reasons we changed it was that at this time of the year now, an awful lot of fishermen no longer become fishermen. They're interested in going duck hunting or any other type of hunting. I know that bear season is open right now. I wasn't aware of that people can actually hunt for bears right now as I'm speaking to you. But in the fall, people's interests are spread out to a number of other things. And that's why those of us that are avid fishermen tend to have the waters to ourselves. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner. with the North Country Fishing Report.